Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. He was born on October 7, 1952, in the battered city of Leningrad, a place still haunted by the memory of the Nazi siege. His parents were ordinary workers, his father a factory foreman, his mother a homemaker. 2 older brothers had perished in the war years, leaving Vladimir as the sole survivor. His birth, in the aftermath of devastation, felt almost like defiance. Putin grew up in a cramped communal apartment, a childhood shaped by scarcity and survival. On the playgrounds and streets, he was not the biggest boy, but he quickly earned a reputation for toughness and cunning. Restless and combative, he found discipline in martial arts, mastering judo and sambo. Here he discovered a philosophy that would follow him through life. Wait for the opponent's mistake, then strike decisively. Even as a teenager, Putin's ambitions stretched beyond the walls of Leningrad. At 16, he walked into a KGB office and declared he wanted to join. He was told to return when he had an education. He did. At Leningrad State University, he studied law while cultivating his true interest, the machinery of power. By the 1970s, the KGB accepted him. Putin had become an intelligence officer. He was posted to Dresden, East Germany, during the Cold War, a soldier in the silent war of espionage. It was there, in 1989, that he faced a turning point. Protesters stormed the streets as communist regimes fell. Putin called Moscow for orders. The response was chilling. Moscow is silent. The mighty Soviet Union was collapsing, and in that silence, Putin felt the humiliation of helplessness. He vowed never again to let Russia stand leaderless and weak. When the USSR dissolved, Putin returned to a country in chaos. Factories shuttered, the economy collapsed, and oligarchs feasted on the ruins. But Putin was not among the profiteers. Instead, he moved into politics, working in St. Petersburg's city administration. He was quiet, efficient, and relentless, a man who seemed to appear everywhere and yet remain unnoticed. Colleagues nicknamed him the Grey Cardinal. In 1996, he was called to Moscow, where he entered the Kremlin's labyrinth of power. Rising with astonishing speed, he became head of the FSB, the successor to the KGB, then Prime Minister. And then, on the last day of 1999, President Boris Yeltsin, weakened and discredited, announced his resignation. He named Vladimir Putin as his successor. The little-known former spy was now the leader of Russia. From the first days, Putin ruled with iron clarity. Russia was reeling from terrorist attacks and separatist war in Chechnya. His response was ruthless. He crushed insurgency, restored order, and in doing so, earned the loyalty of a wounded people. To many Russians, he was the man who brought back pride. To his critics, he was the man who brought back fear. In 2000, he won his first election. Under his leadership, Russia's economy revived, fueled by oil and gas. The chaos of the 1990s gave way to stability. The oligarchs who had once challenged the state were stripped of power. Putin made it clear, in the new Russia, there was only one center of authority, the Kremlin. But his vision was larger than economics. He sought to restore Russia's voice on the global stage. To him, the West's expansion of NATO was a threat, not a partnership. He watched with suspicion as Western leaders lectured him about democracy while encircling Russia with alliances. Putin believed in sovereignty above all else. His Russia would not kneel. Year after year, his grip in power tightened. Opponents fell silent, some fled, others perished. Abroad he projected strength, from Georgia to Syria and most dramatically in Crimea, which Russia annexed in 2014. To his supporters, this was justice, the return of stolen land. To his enemies, it was aggression, the mark of an autocrat. Yet behind the cold image, Putin remains a man forged by childhood struggles and the memory of national collapse. He carries the humiliation of the Soviet fall like a scar. Every decision he makes, every risk he takes, is aimed at one goal: ensuring Russia will never again be silent, never again be humiliated. What cannot be denied is Vladimir Putin is one of the most consequential figures of the 21st century. From the grey streets of Leningrad to the halls of the Kremlin, his journey is the story of a boy who grew up in the ruins of war and became the man who vowed to never let his country fall again. And as the world watches, one truth remains: his story is not finished yet.